I'm not going to take care of a cripple. I'm too young to spend the rest of my life suffering because of you.
This is precisely what Louise heard from his very own wife after a truly serious accident. The sun was just timidly beginning to rise when Louise, a young entrepreneur only 32 years of age, carefully adjusted his navy blue jacket in front of the mirror, then rushed out towards a truly decisive meeting that held the power to completely change the future of his technology company. Hard-working, determined and humble, Louise believed that success was the fruit of faith and effort and was proud of every achievement made with his own hands. Married to Roberta, an elegant and ambitious woman, he believed he lived a stable life, surrounded by dreams and promises. But on that day, fate decided to test his strength. While crossing a busy avenue, a speeding car struck him head-on. The sound of the impact echoed, and Louise's world went black. In seconds, when he opened his eyes, he was in a stark white hospital room surrounded by machines and by pain that wouldn't let him breathe. The doctor approached, and in a grave voice he said, "You've sustained a spinal injury. There's a risk you may never walk again." The silence that followed was the heaviest of his entire life. Tears streamed down unbidden, and all he could think about was how he would tell Roberta. Hours later, she entered the room, cold, flawless, with no emotion in her gaze. "Roberta, I can't feel my legs," he said with a trembling voice. "I am not going to stay with a cripple," she answered with disdain. Luis was left completely stunned, his heart shattered into a million pieces. "I am far too young to spend my entire life taking care of someone like that," she finished, before turning her back and walking away without a single glance behind her. The sound of her heels echoed through the corridor like the sound of abandonment. Alone, Luis wept for days, feeling lost, without faith or strength, as if his life had ended. But amidst all the pain, he decided to try. He agreed to start physical therapy, even though he had no hope. And it was there that he met Leticia, a young woman with warm brown eyes, a serene smile, and a light, gentle soul, who carried her inner peace with her every single day to her treatment sessions. She always greeted everyone with such kindness, spreading her light and warmth amidst all the pain. One day, seeing him struggle to stand, she approached and said, "You're going to make it. Just don't give up." Those simple words ignited something within him. From that moment on, Leticia began to accompany him, encouraging every small step forward. On those days when he would cry out in agony from the pain, it was always she who would gently say, "God doesn't make mistakes, sometimes he simply changes the path." Their admiration for each other transformed into friendship, and that friendship then blossomed into love. As time went on, Luis gradually began to feel movement, returning to his legs once more. The doctor said, "This is truly unbelievable, Luis. You are truly outdoing yourself." He looked up towards the sky and responded, "My faith is what lifted me." When he finally managed to take his very first steps, Leticia began to cry, and he, deeply emotional, embraced her, saying, "You truly were my miracle." Months later, Luis returned to his work, successfully reopened his company, and created new projects specifically designed to employ people with disabilities. At a social gathering, he encountered Roberta once more, who was utterly stunned to see him standing upright with a bright smile, holding hands with Leticia. "I see you've recovered quite quickly," she remarked, attempting to conceal her deep regret. Louise replied calmly, saying, "Some falls are just there to teach us how to walk with greater skill." And as he walked along, right there beside Leticia, he proved that true love never shies away from any pain. It is born from it. Those who remain in pain learn the true value of love. Those who flee from it will never truly know it. You share so many things online, memes, jokes, and tragedies, but what about faith? Would you have the courage to share it? Remember what has been written, "If you are ashamed of me in the presence of men, I will also be ashamed of you before my Father."